How's everybody doing? Welcome to the MLC. It stands for the Mr. Limba channel. This is your host and your brother, Mr. Limba. This is on the road edition, Red Pill content. Hopefully there is not many noise going on in the background because I am on the road. I'm going to try to keep this one quick, but it is a teaching video, so it might be a bit difficult to keep it quick and short because teaching videos tend to take longer because there is actually substance in the video as opposed to just women bashing and hating, which does not add anything to any of our lives and making us wiser in how to deal with the female, the feminist movement, the gynocentric government, and everything that is stacked up against us as men, especially red pill men in these societies. So, today's topic, the importance of the emotional roller coaster. There is great importance in the emotional roller coaster. Now, in my last video, I talked about the importance of not dealing with a woman's family and friends because you need to take time away from them where you and her can develop something while you program her, while you give her the mental software that you need her to process. I spent some time talking about how you can program the woman's mind, how you must not fall for her sad face, or how you should not take the sex when you are disappointed in the woman. You must let her feel you're disappointed in her, but you should not be biting her head off. All right? Lashing out in anger is a feminine trait. Lashing out in anger puts you in a position of weakness, and now she thinks she can control an aspect of you. All right? Women tend to seek control. Now, for some of you brothers who commented in that last video, when I talked about mentally programming the woman, and you said it's too much work, I agree with you. If you just don't want to deal with that, that is fine. But I want men to know that this is not modern when it comes to women, all right? This is women 101, even when it comes to Eve in the Garden of Eden, if you believe the biblical story, or even if it comes to I don't know if it's Lucy or whatever you want to call it if you're into evolution and so forth, right? So whatever you believe it is, it goes back to the first woman. That is my point. Females in their nature has always been this way, all right? This is something that you guys have to understand. The reason you're having so much problems with women today and their behavior, it's because we have a feminist movement who is allowing women to behave this way without shame, without blame, and without repercussions. And you have a government who is supporting what she is doing and backing her up, who is acting as a muscle behind her weaker frame in order to support her very childish mind at times. So this is something that you guys have to understand. But this is not new when it comes to females or female nature. All right? This is something that you guys have to understand. So the work was always there to be done. It's just that the work wasn't so difficult to do because we didn't have so many opposing factors. Now, a woman is supposed to reflect the man. This is true. Now, a lot of brothers beat that horse and they use it sometime out of context. But a woman is supposed to reflect you as a man. She is supposed to take on after you. All right? And if you are, let's say, a brother who's into the Bible, when you look at the book of Hebrews, for example, it talks about how the Christ is the very image, reflection, light of the Father, God, Yah, the creator of us all, right? And if you look at 1 Corinthians, it talks about how God, the Father, Yah, the creator of us all, is the head of the Christ, right? Or the Messiah. So in the analogy that is used there, it says that the man is also the head of the woman. So if the man is the head of the woman, likewise, the woman should be the very image and reflection of the man, as stated in Hebrews. Now, I'm not going to stay into the scriptures too much in this topic, but if you want to look it up yourself, that is Hebrews, the 1st chapter, around the 3rd verse. That's Hebrews chapter 1, verse 3. And also that is 1 Corinthians chapter 11. So the woman must reflect you, my brother, as you are her head. She should be your image. She should be representing your glory as a man. Now, with that said, you need the emotional roller coaster. Now, many of you guys wonder why many women stick to bad boys and thugs and goons and pretty boy who cheats on her and all these type of guys, right? Now, the truth is those guys, they know how to spike a woman's emotions, right? They know how to get it to peak and to drop. It's like the stock market. It wouldn't be exciting if there was not a chance you can make a huge amount of money and a chance you can lose a lot of money, because all those things are material, and which means they are feminine, right? And I would get into that in the metaphysics, which most likely will come this month. For those of you who've been waiting for the metaphysics, thank you for being patient, right? Those things are material, which makes them feminine in nature. So they are not constant. They are up and down, right? Like the stock market, like sports, for example. If you didn't have the great highlight plays that were game changers, the Hail Marys that turned into a touchdown, the breakaway dunks, the home run, and all those type of highlights, if they didn't happen to keep your emotions spiking up and dropping low and having you nervous and you hoping for the best, it would not be exciting, right? So the female is the same way, right? She likes those boys because those boys, while they give her the sex, while 1 minute they're hugging up on her and kissing on her, the next minute he's like, man, get the F out my car. Man, get out of here with that stuff, man. Get the F out my car. Stop talking to me like that. Get out my house. Leave. Get out right now. Pack your ish. Get out. Let me hear them footsteps fading away, right? If he didn't do those things to her, you know, she wouldn't be so intrigued by him. So she gets to go home, and then this same girl, you know, is texting him, why you act like that? I don't know why you treat me like crap sometimes. And, you know, you act like I don't mean nothing to you and this and that. And then he never texts back. And then she's like, babe, please, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Why you treating me like that? Why you not answering me? And she's blowing up his phone like crazy. Then he put her on the block for like, you know, a day or something. So, you know, by the time he take her off block, 30 minutes go by and she's still texting him. Like, you mean so much to me. I send him a picture of when they were together or something like that. And you're like, why is this chick putting up with this dude? But then when she meets the guy who takes care of her, who is there for her, who respects her all the time, and the keywords here is all the time, what she does is she cheats on him, she mistreats him, she's disrespectful, she ghosts him, she gaslight him, she monkey branch off of him. So you're wondering, why is all these things happening? Well, female nature has always been like that. See, the problem is what this man is doing is not giving her that emotional spike, right? He is not giving her that up and down. He is too constant. He is too predictable. She is not excited. Now, you're probably sitting here mad because you're like, Mr. Limba, this is exactly what pisses me the hell off, right? It's like, why are these women so immature? Why these women got to be like this? What you don't understand is the true female nature. You've been hearing the angry side of the manosphere when they talk about female nature. You haven't been hearing the teachings of how female nature operates and how you should learn to interact with it for your advantage. Okay? And this is what the MLC is for. This is what my channel is about. So you guys can live your life however you want and get the fullness of life out of it without having to be in fear, worried, or risk falling into a trap or danger. Because I'm going to break it down for you. See, women are emotional creatures. As men, we're logical. So logically, which is masculine, we want things to be steady. All right? We want things to make sense. We want things to be safe because we are protectors. We want things to be provided for. We want provision because we are providers in our nature. That doesn't make you beta. Now, it makes you beta if you're simping and doing it for people, men, women, children, I don't care, grandmothers who don't deserve it. People who don't care about you, people who don't deserve it. When you're doing it for them, then of course it makes you beta. But if you're doing it when it is deserving, when it should be applied, it does not make you beta. So naturally, as a man, we try to make things constant. But when we express our nature to a woman as if it is her nature, we pay the price. Okay? So she's not getting that emotional spike. It's too constant for her. It's too steady for her. It's too boring for her because she is a grown child. I've said this before. Now, just like a child, if you put a child in a house every day, you give the child food, you give the child drinks, you give the child protection, you give the child a bath, and you give the child a bed to sleep in, the child will whine. They will get bored. They will become destructive. They will draw on the walls. They will probably stick a fork in the electric socket and become destructive to themselves. The same thing happens when you have a woman that is in a relationship without an emotional spike. Now, I'm not saying you have to treat her like crap, because that is one extreme with the bad boys. What you must do is keep it positive and negative, swinging back and forth like a pendulum, like a roller coaster, sharp turns, okay? For example, my relationships when I interact with women and deal with women. This is what I do. If I deal with women, usually if it's going to be some kind of relationship, it's the kind of women that most of you brothers would call dimes, right? I wouldn't commit or have a woman commit to me, okay, if you want to put it that way. That is not what you guys would call dimes. I call them usually 9.5s, all right? Because most women are not virgins, they're not pure, they're not whatever. So I'm not going to deal with anything less than the finest of the fine when it comes to women, all right? And even if it's not, you know, a marriage or nothing serious like that, she got to be that fine if she's going to be around me in a consistent basis. That's what I mean. I'm not talking about a pump and dump kind of woman, right? So what I do with her, which is an example, is, you know, I'll chill with her. We'll go out, I'll eat, you know, we'll chill, we'll watch a movie. Sometimes she'll pay for me, right? And sometimes we'll go Dutch. And if she says something that is covertly disrespectful, because women are rarely overtly disrespectful with me, I don't give them that kind of leeway, right? So if she does something that is covertly disrespectful, like, oh, you said that story already, or you mentioned that to me already, I heard you. And, you know, because she's not doing it quick enough, so I kind of reminded her, and maybe she rolled her eyes a little bit or shook her neck in the way she shouldn't when she said, I heard you. I'll stop her right there. I'm like, hold up. I'm like, what's all that neck stuff you doing? You know, I don't care for that. I don't appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't like something I'm doing, you need to calmly come to me and respectfully come to me and let me know. I don't know why you're doing all that extra. All right, let's not ruin this day, because you know I'm about that. All right, let's keep it respectful. You know I don't play with that. And they'll start looking, they'll freeze, and they're like, you know, and after a few, they'll be like, babe, I didn't mean no disrespect. You know I didn't mean that. Like, I didn't mean it like that. And I'm like, well, you know what I don't like, so why you doing it? And I just walk away. Now I come back later, do what I gotta do, and it's it. I don't lose my mind. I don't flip off, right? I just make sure I teach her what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. All right. So right there, she got the roller coaster. All right. 1 minute she's in the movie theaters. 1 minute she's eating cheesecake with me. 1 minute she's just chilling. The next minute she's having explosive sex. The next minute I'm checking her. Okay, it's that emotional roller coaster. And one day I get up, I don't call her or I don't return her text because I'm working on my business. I'm on my grind, my purpose, or whatever it is, right? So she's wondering, what is he doing? And when she called me, she's like, I miss you. So I just gave her the sad part of the roller coaster, which is missing me, not having me around, the loneliness. But it's never too long. You can't go extreme. 1 minute she's having great sex, but it's not constant. The next day she may say, I want you to come by, I'm horny, but I don't come. All right? You got to give her that emotional roller coaster. Now, why is this? Women want to be saved. At the same time, you heard the song, she don't want to be saved, don't save her. Both of these are true. All right, I'm going as fast as I can, guys. This is on the road, but it's a teaching video, so those take longer. Now, this is not a contradiction, right? It's not a contradiction. Women don't want to be saved, don't save her. This simply means if you are simping in order to pull a woman out of her mess, she will disrespect you. She will lose respect for you. She will walk all over you. She will make your life miserable. If you are going out of your way in trying to get a woman out of a mess that usually they put themselves into, all right, she doesn't want to be saved because she can't respect her own self at the moment. And this is game from my father right here, because my father said to me recently that many men are disrespected by women. Many men, when they marry these used up women, these women disrespect them because these women know that they ain't ish. And you want to put her on a pedestal. That's what my father said. So he said, if you put her on a pedestal and she knows she ain't ish, she can't respect you. Right? So this is very true. Right? These women are not respecting you because you're saving her when she put herself in a bad situation. She knows she got 10 kids. She knows she got 5 baby daddies. And you're coming with no kids, a college degree, or even 1 kid. And you're going in there, you're paying all her bills. You're taking care of all her kids. You're even changing diapers of children who are not your own. Right? So, of course, she can't respect you. So, in that aspect, she is going to treat you bad because she don't want to be saved. Don't save her. Now, let me show you where there's compatibility in the argument and we're not dealing with a contradiction. Women want to be saved. The truth is, women want to feel that the man is elevating her from the pit in which she is in, whether it is emotional, financial, or whatever, right? Or spiritual. Example, when we're talking about emotional, right? You're pulling her out of that emotional pit. Notice when a woman is stressed, she can call you, you pick up the phone, and she starts telling you, hey, how you doing? You wouldn't believe what just happened to me. And she want to go on this tangent or whatever about something that just happened. And if you don't, cut her off to some degree, she'll make you an emotional sponge, right? Because women want to come to men for that emotional strength. She likes your solitude, your calmness as the masculine. Because masculine is calmness. Masculine is directed. Masculine is driven. Masculine is coming from point A to point B. This is why she comes to you. So this is why women need sometimes for you to save them emotionally or even most of the time. Now, when I say financially, I'm not talking about you just pouring your money into her. That's what you call simping. That's the part where you don't save her. She don't want to be saved because she's going to disrespect you. Women look to be saved financially when they marry up. Or even if they make more money than the man, they realize that he is a sound mind with sound judgment. even though women make more money, they tend to spend and have a poor budgeting habit. So when they see a man with a sound mind, even if he makes less money, they know he will be better at directing her on how to manage such money. So there's a financial decision. Here's a hypergamy. Here's a marrying up, but not necessarily for financial gain. All right. For those of you who haven't seen a deeper breakdown of hypergamy, check out my video, Hypergamy, right, on women and hypergamy. So the roller coaster, a woman, when she's down, she's looking for you to come through and save her financially, emotionally, spiritually. Give her substance. This is what it's called, to give her your light. All right. You shine your light on the woman so she may reflect it. But when you put her on the roller coaster, she becomes, once again, mentally dependent upon you. All right. She comes to you for that emotional support. She comes to you for that spiritual guidance, that spiritual support, that spiritual elevation. She comes to you for the psychological medicine. All right. You are her psychiatrist. You have to prescribe something. But when she's out of line, you have to put her in a position of scarcity when she doesn't have it. This is when you put her in the sad. This is when you put her in the angry. This is when you put her in the upset position. Hence the emotional roller coaster. And when she's in those positions, you don't quickly take her out of it. You may give her a few hours where she spend time in it, like a child in timeout, right? You give her maybe a day where she's in it. And I will break this down for married men or men who live or cohabitate with a woman, how to make this happen when you're seeing her all the time because you guys are in the same house. In a future video, I'll break that down. Right? So you need to give her time to go through some withdrawals like she is a drug addict, a drug abuser. So when you come back, you bring great joy. All right. You bring that great joy and you affirm and assert to her what you can do, what she can do to prevent these from happening. And what you present to her is always your agenda. All right. So this is a continuation from not dealing with a woman's friend or a woman's family. Right. So yeah, sorry about that. I got distracted for a little bit. I am on the road, but you know, you have to understand that mental programming, which is why I'm doing a continuation video from that last one, not dealing with her family and friends, which was mental programming, or my brother Talleyrand the Great would call the break-in process, right? It's important. And I'm teaching you guys this because I'm getting ready to teach you guys about the foreign woman. Also, those of you who want foreign women and want to bring them over, right? So you need to keep her in a position where you give her your agenda and tell her this is what will bring her peace. Your agenda eventually become the drug, the drug promise. And if she behave a certain way, she get the positive side, you know, of you. And if she doesn't, she get the negative side of you. Now, this sounds basic when you say this. It's, in psychology, I believe they call this positive conditioning or negative conditioning, positive association and negative association. All right. She needs to know when she does certain things to you that is contradicting to your agenda, there is a negative association immediately because there is a repercussion. And when she does something positive, there is positivity that comes out of it, you know. So in a sense, she controls her own roller coaster. But whenever her nature gets out of place, you give her a punishment of some sort. And it doesn't mean any kind of physical abuse for those of you guys who are, you know, overly aggressive. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you need to take away what you make her depend on, because a woman has to depend on you, especially emotionally. So you must have that emotional roller coaster like a drug. She needs to be checked. You need to go slightly cold sometimes. This does not mean a cold shoulder. It means you kind of distant. And then you come back in and then you give her great joy. Okay, you need to make yourself scarce. Don't be afraid to go out for a day, go out of town for a day and not come back. Okay, and let her know you're gonna go see your mother or somebody and just pretty much go away, or go see your father, cousin, homeboys, don't matter, and go away. And when you do so, she misses you for 1 to 3 days, maybe 5 days. All right, you may talk to her on the phone lightly, but always be the first person to get off the phone. The reason the PUAs say things like this, like be the first person to get off the phone, is because you're leaving her still wanting more. If you let her get her fill on the phone and she's getting off the phone with you, she feels like she's completed her task, where she doesn't want it anymore. Okay, when you give a person appetizer or a taste of the food, a sample of the food on a toothpick when you own a restaurant, right? They taste it and they want to buy more. But if you give them a plate of food and you let them get full, right, they may no longer want to buy your food. So when you're on the phone with her, it's the same concept. It's an emotional roller coaster. You're talking, you're having fun, you're having a blast, she's laughing, and out of the blue, you're like, hey, look, I'm going to have to go. I'll hit you up. You know what I'm saying? And you probably hear her go, oh no, why you leaving? Don't go. But this is what you need, because right when she's in the middle of enjoying that flavor, right, this is when you pull back, because you need her to depend on it. And now she will never disrespect you when you call her on the phone or ignore your calls or your texts, because she knows how important it is. By pulling away like that, she put great value on your conversations with her on the phone. And of course, like I told you guys, when she disappoints you, don't grow weak because she looks sad. Don't grow scared because she gets angry. And she will try to compensate you with sex. Do not take the sex. Why is this? Women oftentimes use sex to compensate for your standards, to compensate for her lack of respecting your standards and your expectations of her, for compensating for her lack of meeting your standards, for her shortcomings when it comes to meeting your goals and expectations of her. So if you give a woman the idea, or you get into the habit of compensating her incompetence, for compensating her bad behavior, you're letting her think she can do that by using sex. She will lose respect for you, and eventually she will use sex as a weapon, or as a treat, or as a way to misbehave. It's like a child who tried to give you a hug after you get pissed off at them. This is when you can't take the hug. Like, I don't want a hug from you right now. Go sit down over there. Right? Because you have to program such a child. Once again, I may sound rough, but you guys know I don't hate women. This is the channel where I give you guys real content on how to build your lives instead of running away, being in fear, being scared, or forever being a level 1 MGTOW, which is pure anger, which most brothers do think they're over their rage, but they're not. Right? You need to get over that rage. It is unhealthy for you, my brother. By being in anger, you're still putting women first, and you're still putting them on a pedestal. This is the channel where I give you the real Ibn Order introspective black man of reform. And I give you true red pill content on how to protect yourself, how to save yourselves, how to deal and build as a man. Now, this is more on the mental programming of the woman, and the best way to do that is not to logically program the woman, for she is an emotional creature and not a logical one. So you will emotionally program that woman to the point where someone else will have a hard time changing her mind. She will be attached to you and about your agenda and doing your business. There will be more on this type of content coming up in the future. This is an on the road edition. And remember, don't forget to subscribe to my backup channel, because If this one goes down, you need to be able to find me so we could continue this work. All right. Now, the backup channel has no content, so don't worry. You will not be bombarded with videos from 2 different channels. But if this one goes down, you'll start seeing videos pop up on the other one, and we'll be right on schedule like nothing ever happened. You will see the link to that channel on the first comment pinned to the top of the comment section. This is your boy and your brother, Mr. Limba. Stay red pill, stay growing, don't stay angry, don't stay in fear. We're going to overcome, we're going to beat the system, we're going to be masculine, alpha, we're going to be the men that God intended for us to be. Until next time, stay strong, stay red pill, and keep the brotherhood strong. Mr. Limba, out.